All right. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday. Yes, it is. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. And we're going to have some fun today, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Hello, 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 everybody. And welcome to the show. All right. You got to remember, I don't have my buttons yet. Not until I go back to Florida and pick them up. So let me do it this way. Hold on a second. It's live. What do you want? It's not perfect. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Good morning, everybody. And today is Tuesday, and as you know, Tuesday is the day that we chill out and we just hang out and have a nice little conversation. And today, I got a special guest who's going to come up here and have a conversation with us. He's going to join me, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Doc Leno from Doc Leno Story Time. What's up, Doc? What's up, Doc?
Hey, how's it going? Yes, how's it going? Hey, can I just say one special hello, because you will not see this individual in the chats. Hey, Hannah, you can join us with Cool Clearwater.
Yes, that's right. And speaking of which, who we got here today? Our first was Cliff Hickson. First happy dance of the day goes to Cliff. Here you go, buddy. Here's your happy dance.
Cliff's got to quit jumping along there.
Thank you so much. And number 2 was Cool Clearwater. Howdy, folk. Howdy, Cliff. Best way to start the day. Thank you so much, Cool Clearwater. Great to have you here today. And of course, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, Highway Star. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. We'll catch up with the bit kind of busy. Oh, catch up in a bit kind of busy. That's all right, man. You're one of the best supporters of the channel. Don't you worry about it. We're all good. Absolutely, positively. Let's see. Little Chihuahua, what's up? Good morning, Rash. Good morning to you. David E. Pearsons is here. Hi, guys. Hi, David. What's up? Welcome to the show. Little Chihuahua, Doc Leno, ladies and gentlemen, there he is. All right. Excuse me. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take a drink from my Doc Leno coffee mug that I just got yesterday. Thank you so much, Doc. Yes. Cool, clear water. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Greg Jonick is here, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to Little Chihuahua. All right. He's got one too. Look at that, different color. All right, love it, love it, love it. Let's see who else is in the house. Addressing the drama llama. Sup, everybody. Hopefully you have a great day, and you as well. Let's see. Mr. Thomas is here. What's up? Good morning, Hez, and happy Tuesday. Enjoyed the extra long stream yesterday. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It was brutal, man, but I did it. Griffey, all right, you bunch of wonderful people. How are you all? I'm sorry I missed your stream. As I fell asleep, it was a mega stream, all right. Yeah, it was way longer than I anticipated. I didn't know. I thought, I never really sat and thought about how long like it would take for me to play all of my videos. I didn't even make a dent. But I started and then 12 hours in, I'm like, man, I still got no, forget it. I just stopped. I could just leave a playlist on and probably do like a 24-hour stream if I'm not even in the room, just auto playing all the videos I've made. Jason D is here. Is this another 12-hour stream? I still haven't been to bed since the last one. No. This is going to be just a normal. In fact, it might even be a little shorter because after yesterday, I'm spent. Let's see. Greg Jonick, Jason D. Oh no, not this guy. Frauditor Mania. Will's here. What's up, Will? Great to see you. The two tyrants. That's right. Jason D. Griffey, Frauditor Mania, Cliff Hickson. All right. So it looks like we're all caught up. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, for anyone who doesn't know, Doc Leno, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and plug your channel and all that good stuff?
Oh, yes. I'm Dr. Lenu.
And don't forget, you have a wrench, too, so you can drop links in the chat.
Oh, yes, I sure can. And I will. I am Dr. Lenu with Dr. Lenu Storytime. I tried to deal mostly in, I would say, pop culture. Every now and then we will go into a little bit of Frauditor stuff, but mostly pop culture. But my live streams are designed to be fun, something to laugh at, something to at the same time educate a little bit, and talk to some interesting people. In fact, this past Sunday we had a very, very interesting conversation with Cool Clear Water. And if you hadn't had a chance to watch that, you really should go check it out. It was nice to sit down and talk to Cool Clear Water and just hear some of the nice stories he had about things he had done in the past. I think you guys would enjoy it. And hey,
I was actually. Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
I was gonna say, you want to go ahead and play that little clip that I pulled up for us?
Yes. We got a little clip for you guys of Cool Clear Water singing. For those of you who've never heard Cool Clear Water speak before, his voice is amazing.
Yes,
I love
it is.
it. Let's see. Let me go ahead and pull up Cool Clear Water Sings. It's a short from Doc Leno's channel. Let's go ahead and check that out real quick. All right.
Which one? Agree upon something, please. Okay. Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down, a wiggle in the walk and a giggle in the talk. Makes the world go round. Ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl to make me act so funny, make me spend my money, make me feel real loose like a long-necked goose. Ooh, baby, that's what I like.
That's awesome.
Yes, which one?
I love that.
Yes,
that is great.
It was a fun stream, and I'm sure I'm going to have a couple more clips from that stream to put up as well. So
yeah, absolutely. It was a great time. I was up there for part of it.
Yes, you were. Yes, I found the story about him meeting Lou Diamond Phillips was very, very interesting. So
yeah, absolutely.
So that was.
And really sorry, guys, for those of you at home who don't realize, yes, since I've been here, when I'm in this room and when I'm actually speaking to another person, there's a delay. So I apologize. We don't mean to talk over each other. It's just, sometimes sometimes he'll say something and I won't hear it until later, or I say something and he won't hear it. Anyway, there's a delay. So that's why sometimes, we bump into each other's words, but it's not intentional. Anyway, so I don't know. What are you thinking, Doc? What do you want to talk about today to start off the show?
I would love to talk about anything that's pop culture today. Something that is fun, lighthearted. And me, I'm a Star Wars fan, and I enjoy all the.
Ooh, look
Oh,
out.
yeah, yes, I enjoy the Star Wars series. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like Star Trek too. But if I had a choice between Star Wars or Star Trek, I would go watch Star Wars.
Right. Well, as somebody who likes both, I'm sure that you could really appreciate this. Like for me, I look at them as two completely different genres. It's like comparing fantasy and sci-fi. Like people always
Yeah,
put Star Wars in sci-fi, but it's not really. It's fantasy, science fantasy.
well, I think of Star Wars like almost like a space western in a way.
It is. That's
Yeah,
literally what it is. That's what Lucas was
exactly.
thinking when he wrote it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas, and
That's why Luke was in the desert
yeah,
and he wore a poncho.
right, exactly. And then you think about the storylines
Yeah.
that's associated with Star Wars. It is usually either a samurai type story or a Western cowboy story dealing with whatever is going on. So,
Well, I mean, think of it. There's a shootout in the bar.
yeah, yes. Oh, yes. I
They
can
go into
think
the
of quite.
saloon in the Old West.
Yep. Yes. And it's not just that shootout that we have already associated from the first Star Wars film. I mean, we've had shootouts throughout several different series in a bar, in a bar, in the Mandalorian, in
Yeah.
uh, yeah, the Bad Batch had a shootout. There was Andor had a very good uh, fight scene, or that started in a bar, but in it on the street. Obi-Wan Kenobi had a little
Right.
scene in his bar.
Right.
That's yes.
Yes, indeed. That's amazing stuff. Also, real quick before we get too deep into it, I also wanted to give the Ray update. Last time I heard from her was last night. They were in South Dakota. They were stopping for the night to sleep. So hopefully, everything's going to go well. Definitely, the trip is taking a toll on her. Having
Right.
this, as sick as she is, having to sit in that car all that time is not
It
agreeing
is
with her at
brutal.
all. But hopefully, again, all of our thoughts and prayers are with her. What's that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say yes. It is. Just riding all day can be tiresome, but then riding all day for 2 or 3 days straight, I don't know if I could do it. So
Right.
it'll
And
wear you out.
when you have like health problems like she does, it's just horrible.
Hmm.
Yeah. But so anyway, we all hope she's okay and all good. So talking about Star Wars, here's the thing for me, being my age, how like when you think back to when you're a kid, like trying to remember things that happened when you were little, the earliest memory I have, when I think back as hard as I can, the first thing I remember ever in my life was seeing the original Star Wars in the theater when it first came out. And specifically, I'll never forget this because I do know why, because it scared me or whatever, but I don't remember seeing the movie when I was little. I remember specifically, I could see the seat I was in, the ceiling of the theater, my dad sitting next to me right here, and me looking at the screen. I remember all of that, but only for one moment. It was when the Tusken Raider jumped up and attacked Luke and went. That scared
I
me
do
so
remember.
bad that it left a permanent mark in my. I always remember that moment.
I do remember, yes, when the first time seeing that and the Tusken Raider jumping like that, scaring me a little bit too. Yes, very early age. But now
Yes,
it's just
yes.
one of those.
I was little,
Yeah.
but that is my earliest memory in life.
hmm And we're talking, and here we are.
That's
We're
something else.
talking
But you
about.
know,
I was going to say, yes. Here we are talking about a movie that is over 40 years old. It came out 77, so yes, over 40 years old, and we're still talking about
yeah.
it like it's the most to me, it is one of the most awesome things, and especially for that time period. That movie was very, very. I mean, just the dogfight in space was really awesome. How they did it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, you know, people, I mean, the majority of my audience are people our age or older, you know, so like they get it. But anyone who was born in the 80s or after, like these little youngins like Pac and people like that, they might not be old enough to really understand the cultural impact. When that movie first came out, everybody was talking about it. It was insane.
Yes, it was,
Everywhere
and of
you
course
looked
you
was
have to
Star Wars this, Star Wars that. It was everywhere.
right. Oh yes, and back in when the Star Wars film first came out, George Lucas did not. I don't think he had plans to make Luke and Leia siblings. I say that because I saw Peg's little chat. And yeah, yeah, brother and sister did kiss each other, but they didn't know they were brothers and sisters, and George Lucas didn't know that they were brothers and sisters neither. so,
Well,
so
from my understanding, he knew that they were brother and sister, but he didn't know that he was going to use that. Like he had the
oh,
idea when he first like wrote the original script,
hmm, you're
but
right.
then
Okay,
he kind of like let that go. But then for Return of
right.
the Jedi, he decided to bring it back because, and I saw an interview with him where he said he was writing the scene where Vader is hunting Luke, and he's trying to figure out what can I have Vader say that would make Luke flip. Like what could he say? What could he? And then
hmm
it clicked in his head like I always had this idea that Leia was his sister. Vader figures out through the Force that it's his sister, and then that's what sets Luke off to make him attack. And so then
Right.
he kind of like went back and put the whole thing around the brother sister thing.
So, yes, and that makes
But I
absolute sense because I
remember,
don't think Vader could have said anything else to make Luke flip.
right,
So just
exactly.
saying.
Um, yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. It was perfect. It's like how are you going to get this guy to flip out and touch the dark side?
hmm
Um, but there's so many things like with the original Star Wars that a lot of people, again, like at the time, you have to like I should tell my kid because my kids love Star Wars, but I had to explain it to them when they were little because modern kids watching an old movie to them sometimes it doesn't work. But I'm like, look. You got to think in 1977, you sat down, this movie started, and the first thing you see is a spaceship. And it was at that point in cinema history, that spaceship just flying by was probably the coolest thing you've ever seen in your life. Then the ship that was behind it was a Star Destroyer. So now the coolest thing you ever saw in your life just got beaten by something that's even cooler than that. And then we go inside the ships and you see these robots that are even cooler than that. And then Darth Vader comes in and it just kept getting better and better and better. Just the first 5 minutes, you
Oh
know,
yes.
everyone's
Oh
mind was already blown and they were already sucked in, you know. What an
yes.
intro to a movie.
hmm Well, I gotta admit though, the best intro in a movie is Spaceballs. Gotta admit, I mean,
Make
I
that
love
Star
how.
Destroyer like last 10 minutes just by itself.
Yes. And what does it break for? Nobody.
Oh,
You don't remember that?
nobody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I break for nobody. Yeah. The little
Yeah.
bumper sticker on the back. Oh man. Um Spaceballs was great. It's great. Mel Brooks is,
Yeah.
uh legend, in the industry.
He is.
But
Oh yeah.
it
I was going to
no,
say, yeah. Don't
yeah,
get me
he
started on
is
Mel Brooks. I enjoy his
absolute.
stuff. Yes.
Oh yeah. And as we all know, that's Tones Over thinks it's favorite. Like all of his memes are Mel Brooks memes. It's beautiful the way he uses them. Um, and the fact that he's able to find just about any subject, whatever he's talking about, he can find an appropriate clip from a Mel Brooks movie to use.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they're out there. They are out there. I do. I mean, my favorite movie is Airplane, and I tend to like to watch that movie when I'm traveling on an airplane. There's something
Nice.
about it. Yeah, and I know
Oh,
one, and I know one thing is I will never order the fish dinner on an airplane.
no, I'd say, slide a piece of the porter, drink side, run the job.
So
Yep. Um, Butter leave it to the bone and dig it through the garden. Oh man, that movie is so funny. Oh man.
mhm.
And it was cool because it was like Airplane was a movie that had so many jokes in it that could have offended literally everybody, but
Yes,
everybody loved it.
right. Yes, it
Like
was going to be
everyone got the joke. You know.
right. Oh, and I did the one thing I did love was how they used Mrs. Cleaver to talk to the
Yeah.
she could
Talk
talk
jive.
jive.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was like when I see that
Chump
scene, I
don't
went,
want the help. Chump don't get the help. Sucker don't have
yeah.
no brains anyhow.
It's just kind of funny because you see Mrs. Cleaver. Yeah, gosh, and I'm sorry I'm drawing blank on her name, but you see Mrs. Cleaver looking like that, and it just was just funny.
Well, yeah, and especially, and again, like, because that's a movie that my boys they love that movie, but well, my older son had seen it more, but the point is, um, I kind of had to explain that a little bit because like they got the joke, oh, it's an old white lady, talking jive or whatever, but like once I explained who she is and why she was famous, like
Uh
almost
huh.
for being like the stereotypical lily white waspy kind of character, and then
Hmm.
she's the one that knows how to speak jive. That's that was
Yes,
the whole joke. It was great.
that was the whole joke. Yes, and unfortunately, I think yes for the younger
Mhm.
generation to get the reference why that joke was funny is you probably have to show them a Leave It to Beaver episode, just
Leave it to
one.
Beaver. Right,
Yeah,
right,
so they'll understand the
right.
reference of the joke.
um, right.
So
But again, there was, and I had to like make sure it was important that because I didn't want to give any spoilers, but it's like you got to watch the credits. Like, what do you mean? Because it's one of the first movies with a post credit scene. If not, well, no, the first movie with a post credit scene technically was Night of the Living Dead, but
uh-huh.
it was one of the first movies with a post credit scene, and that's the punchline of the whole movie. Is the guy still waiting for his cab,
Uh-huh.
and his cab
Yeah.
driver's in Chicago, and he's like, "I'll give him 5 more minutes."
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh, yes. That was the that was
Oh
definitely
man.
an awesome thing.
Yeah. And it's amazing too, like being our age, growing up on that movie, and then going back and realizing when you watch movies from the 50s '50s that Leslie Nielsen was a real actor,
Yes.
not just a comedy
Oh,
actor.
yeah.
And it's like,
He
oh,
had,
wait a minute. Yeah.
he was very, very talented as an actor.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
I do love the stuff he has done throughout the years. But yes, he did a lot of great comedies. We cannot forget Police Squad, which was the series that
Yes,
spun the Naked
yes.
Gun series in the movies. So, and it's just those
Um,
one-liners that he had to say.
who are you? Who are you? And how did you get in here? Well, I'm a locksmith, and I'm a locksmith. That's my favorite joke for Police Squad.
Who are you?
I originally watched Police Squad on Beta Max, like the little
Oh,
Beta Max tapes back in the day. I had it on Beta. Yep, the whole series.
well, I have to ask this question. How many people know what Betamax was? I mean, I know people our age would know what it was, and older, but how about the younger folks? Do you guys know what Betamax was? I know we got a few youngins in here. They may not even know what VHS was. If you think about it.
Right?
Yeah.
Jason D. He's going back to the beginning of the movie. The white zone is for loading and unloading only.
No, the red zone was for loading and unloading. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Edward Cavalier says they're doing a remake and Liam Neeson's going to play Frank Drebin.
See, I can't see that. But then again, Liam Neeson is a talented actor. He might be able to pull it off.
Well, and like we were just saying, he started as someone that wasn't considered a comedy actor, and then it worked. So
yes, and some of the older stuff that Liam Neeson played in, you could see his acting chops were there. He played
oh yeah,
in like
he's
the
definitely
80s.
got
Yeah,
that.
in the 80s, he played in a movie, and I don't remember the name of the movie, but he basically was a country boy from Kentucky. Liam Neeson is not from the United States, and he was playing a country boy from Kentucky, and he played it so convincingly. I believed he was from Kentucky.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely can act. Speaking of which, we started this whole thing talking about Star Wars. What do you think about Qui-Gon Jinn?
Mm, I think
Yeah.
George Lucas missed the mark. I think that the Episode 1 movie, George Lucas focused a little bit too much on the kids. I think. I think that he
Yeah.
should not use.
For me,
I
there
put
were
my Yeah. I was going to say I don't think that he should have made Anakin Skywalker a young child. I think it would have been more believable at age 16. Just saying, in my opinion, if
right.
Anakin was 16 and not young, just based upon the lines that came from the original movie. Plus,
Right.
Anakin had skills that maybe a little bit more mature person would be more explainable. I didn't like the fact also that apparently
Right.
the queen from Naboo was elected official and she was 14 or something to that fact. Come on now. What society in their right
Yeah,
mind would
she was young.
elect?
Yeah.
Yeah. What society in their right mind would
Right.
elect a 14-year-old as their leader? So
Right. Like
I
in history, you could say, oh, well, there have been teenage kings and queens. Yeah, but they were born
but
that. They weren't elected that.
yes, exactly. And I would be willing to accept that. That but she might be the queen, but she also was a benevolent queen and that she worked around advisors that probably were elected that made sure she was going down the right path. I it's just I think there was way too many holes that later people were able to fill in because they had that creativity and they knew how to make it work. but that's today they found
Right.
ways to make it work. Quite frankly, one of my favorite theories about Kwon Jin is he's actually a a Sith or a Dark Jedi, but he's so convincing at what he
Well,
did that no one really knows.
there's a theory going around that Jar Jar was, and
I'm
that's
sorry,
actually a fascinating one too, because
I was talking about Jar Jar thing. I'm sorry. Oh gosh, I was
yeah,
thinking Jar. So who was Quinton? Okay, I'm having a brain fart. Who was the Quinton Jin?
Qui-Gon
That
Jinn was
was
Liam
Liam Neeson.
Neeson. That's why we started talking
Oh,
about
oh
it.
wait, hey,
Yeah.
Liam Neeson, and Samuel L. Jackson. By too far the two
Yes.
best actors in that movie. Period. Just and you hate to see him
Well,
be
yeah.
killed at the end. You really do, because it's one of those things that if Anakin was trained by him and not by Obi-Wan Kenobi, would he gone to the dark side? Would Quinton Jinn recognize what Palpatine was up to? I think he would have. So he had to be killed for Palpatine
Mm,
to become the Emperor.
right.
So
Right. Yeah. I mean, well, once you get into the whole politics and all the stuff behind it, it's like that's it's just weird. Like you said, it's like you're taking a kids movie, but then you got all this politics and stuff that kids don't care about, and then you got
mhm.
literally beheadings and stuff going on. People just, I mean, it's a mixed mishmash of George Lucas trying to please everybody when he should have just forgot about trying to please anybody and just write the story. How did
Yes,
Anakin become Vader? Here you go, boom. You know,
yes, and yes, and like I said, the reason why I say that he was trying to make it more for about the kids is that you remember the scene where Anakin was hanging out with his friends by his little speeder, uh,
oh
and
yeah,
just talking. It's like okay,
yeah, of course. And then
yeah,
Jar Jar with
yeah,
the fart jokes and stepping in poopy.
and it was almost obvious that George Lucas had brought his friends' kids in to make that scene. It's like yeah, come on, George Lucas. Let, uh, It would have been more
Right.
believable if you used a 16-year-old as Anakin. I know what he was trying to do. I just don't think it worked out well for him. And unfortunately for that young
Right.
actor, there were a lot of people upset with him, and it was not his fault. It really was not because it was just George Lucas was trying to do something, and it bit him in the end of it all.
I felt sorry for him because he tells stories about how, like, growing up, the fact that he was in Star Wars because it was the Phantom Menace
Uh
was
huh.
like the worst thing that ever happened to him. And it's insane because, like, just try to imagine in your head you're a kid and you get offered a job in a Star Wars movie. You're not going to say no to
Hmm.
that, you know? And
No,
then it's
no.
that one. And everyone your whole life, oh, you're the kid who ruined Star Wars. What do you mean? It wasn't me. I was just doing
Yeah,
my
and it
job.
wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. He didn't write
Poor
the movie.
guy.
Yeah, he didn't write the movie. It was, I
Right.
mean, they don't want to criticize George Lucas because George Lucas created, but see, George Lucas forgot what the fans enjoyed back in the 70s and early 80s. Why they enjoyed his movies,
Yep.
and that
Yeah,
he,
exactly.
yeah.
That's exactly right.
Uh, Now, granted, there was a lot of information that if people were more aware of could have helped that movie along quite well, like the actual how did the politics in the Republic work. The Republic was not
Right.
each individual system in that government had their own autonomy, and
Right.
yeah, so they governed themselves. So if there was a dispute between two systems or two factions, they could actually gone to war with each other, and it would take the Republic to kind of say, no, you got to
Right.
stop. But the Republic didn't have a strong defensive force. They used the Jedi's to kind of calm things down. Which was, if you remember,
Right.
Jedi's were not part of the government; they were an entity on their own, but they were very strongly supportive by the Republic. So,
Well, yes,
you know,
yes. Um, one of the things that like if you really actually want to get deep into it, one of the things that kind of bothered me about that whole thing, but at the same time I kind of got it because I was thinking of it in terms of maybe this is why the Sith were able to win, but
hmm
I mean, to lead to the Empire being created was that the Jedi Temple on Coruscant is a planet that has like no nature at all. And
right.
the whole point of the Force is that like you could, like you said in Empire Strikes Back, it's in that tree, it's in that rock, it's in
uh
nature. So a group of
Yes,
Jedi's that have absolutely no connection to nature at all, it's like, why would you build the temple there in the first place? Is my question. Like to me, I see like, okay, that's why they were able to be tricked because they had no connection to nature, and that's where the Force comes from. That's why Yoda was on Dagobah because it's nothing
yeah,
but nature, just pure Force
right.
energy flowing through them all day.
And I didn't.
So why
I
the
have
heck
never
would they
thought
build the
about that.
temple on Coruscant to begin with?
They built the temple on the Coruscant so they can
Yeah.
be closer to
Yep.
the government. But there were temples all throughout the galaxy where they were in middle of nature. So
Right.
yes, the Coruscant temple probably should never been the actual temple. More of like a
Right.
enclave
It
to
was
the
a
government.
bad, maybe like a place to come for occasional meetings or something. Yeah. Or
Exactly.
to do their
Uh,
political business when necessary.
and you know what would be interesting, good little story for them to dive into with Star Wars is how did the temple ever get formed in Coruscant? I think that would be a very, very good story because it would be, yes, we're building this temple not for us to use as a temple, as the central headquarters for the Jedi's, but as a means for us to have a representatives near the government, so we can stay in tune with the
Right.
government. That would be very,
Yep.
very more. That would be very, very good.
Yes. Make it make sense. But again, I don't think necessarily that George thought all this stuff out on that level at the time that he was writing it. I
Oh
remember
no,
somebody said once that it seemed like when George was writing the Phantom Menace, it seemed like George didn't even understand the universe he created.
no,
You
he
know,
did not. I don't think he did. I don't. I think. I I think it took guys like David Filoni, who later developed into these stories even more so to come up with something that was really what we have now. These backstories that
right?
uh,
Well, help
so
help fill some of the gaps, like you said earlier. Yeah.
mhm.
And
Yes,
like, I mean, what a task though. Like imagine like you're one of these writers and it's like, okay, George Lucas did this and did this, which went against what he said in the original films, and then he retcons everything, and now I gotta make it make sense. Ah crap.
yeah,
And then you gotta figure out a way to write a story that'll make it work, and make sense.
right, yes.
Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc pit, the Emperor survived being thrown down the Death Star. Ugh.
So yes, and the
IG-11, IG-88, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I just threw my link up forward story
I'm sorry, I
time.
was just
So
looking at the chat. They're talking about Mandalorian.
oh, don't get me started with Mandalorian. I love that show. That I think that was the series that really brought a lot of people back to it. Uh, I mean, you had the anime
Yes,
series that they were good. It's just
absolutely.
that not a lot of people watched it because they thought of it as a cartoon. And now, but now
Right, right.
Mandalorian
Oh, this is
brought
kid
people back
stuff. Yeah.
into yeah. And now they're starting watching the Clone Wars, the animated series, and they
Andor.
realize
Oh,
no,
right.
Clone Wars. is really good. It actually fills in those blanks that you have from the movies. You cannot just watch the movies anymore. There are blanks. There are that these series are filling in the gaps. Uh, right. So it's going
Yes.
to be awesome. I want to see a Bo-Katan series starring Katie Sackhoff. I really want to see that.
Ah, that'd be nice.
Yes, I
And
think that
also
would be nice.
Andor is really good. It's filling in a lot of gaps too.
What I love about Andor was slow to get going, but when you start getting into this series and getting everything going, it's like they are definitely filling those gaps. Like, how was society like for the average citizen?
Right. They're world building. World
Yes.
building. They're
So,
building this,
yes.
like, we know all about this grand political stuff, but now we're starting to understand how the world they live in worked. I
And the
love that.
scene that
I think that's great.
and the scene from that movie, that series, that I loved the most was when he was in court because he was arrested by that trooper for doing nothing other than sweating, just being out, and got charged for
Right.
causing something, doing something that he didn't get do, and he said, "I didn't do this." And what did that judge tell him? Are you trying to argue with your charges? I hope not. Meaning that they will add more time if you try to defend yourself in court.
Right.
And it's like,
Yep.
oh
Yep. You better
shoot.
not.
Better not. No, 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 no. And it's like,
Right.
oh my
That's the
God.
empire, baby. Look out.
Yes, yes. And mm. And that they did a real good job. They did a real good job kind of explaining how I can't wait for season 2 for that series. Remember, it's going to be only 2 seasons
Yeah.
because we know what happens
Yeah.
with
That's
Andor at the end of it
well.
all.
Right. Right.
But
But you never know. Like, TV can ruin anything. So.
yes, yes. And Cool Clearwater. Well, Hannah says
Well,
she
that's a
loved Rogue
TV. But
One,
it's
and I'm going to say to Hannah.
all
I
right.
think yes, Hannah, you're absolutely right. Rogue One was by far in this recent history of Star Wars related movies the best one. And the reason why I say it's best one is because it really took all the elements of a George Lucas Star Wars film and put it in there. They threw a little bit of comedy in there. They had a
Right.
lot of good, really solid acting. They was able to pull in
Hmm.
some elements that fans from the old school knew and enjoy, and they told a really good
Right.
story. And I don't know if you noticed this, Hez, but but to me, when I was watching the team that was getting ready to go to that planet to steal the blueprints to the Death Star, they looked like a unit from
Right.
Vietnam getting ready to go to combat. They look. I was like, "Are we
Oh
watching a
yeah.
Vietnam War movie here?" But that's kind of like they look like.
Right. Right.
And those V wings, I
A
love
lot of
them.
that. I mean, all of that is intentional, right? Like in the
Yes.
original, basing it on World War II. You know.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the V wings, which kind of was something similar to
Yeah.
what I would say a Huey. They had a door gunner who had the ion blaster to
Yeah.
that, and they would land and drop some more troops. I'm like, my God, they did a real good job on this. The- uh, and
Hmm.
the one thing I have to say, why do you want a means to be able to destroy a whole planet where you cannot no longer use that planet's resources? Just I mean
To strike
that is a
fear
flaw.
into the hearts of their enemies.
You're right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Edward Cat Tiller is absolutely right. It did.
But yeah, that was the explanation. Right. Well, that was the explanation as to why they built it. Right. Is well, now no star system would dare stand up to us. Now that we have the ultimate power. But like you said, it's like, yeah, but you think of it on a financial level, like that's a waste of resource. Like, just kill all the people and then mine the planet for whatever's on it.
Right. Yes. There's.
But
Yes. And of course, I will say this. You don't mind if I promote another channel that has nothing to do with us, real quick?
of course, do your thing. You're
Uh,
the guest today.
so okay. Yes. So there's this channel called Tech Generations. Dude is a very, very big time Star Wars fan, and his channel promotes. He'll talk about
Nice.
things anywhere from the spaceships to the politics involved in Star Wars, where it kind of makes sense in what's going on in our world to what was going on in Star Wars world. So you got to have an understanding, and his explanation for some things is so logical. It's so good. It really is a worth watch if you're a Star Wars fan. So again, that channel name is Tech Generation on YouTube.
Well, and that kind of reminds me of what we were talking about on your channel. This whole idea of the stories, that there are ways that you're able to put in like political or social commentary into a fictional story and kind of slide it in there, so
Right.
that applies, like saying like, oh, all these things that are going on now and how Star Wars can relate to that. And it's like, well, yeah, that's one of the things that makes some of the best fiction the best, is because it does have that social and political aspect to it, that's sort of underneath. Like, what's the actual point? What are they trying to say? Oh, there's all this stuff going on in the world and they're talking about it without talking about it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I do see that with the later episodes. So it's
And something else I wanted to say about about Star Wars when we were talking earlier, when I was saying about how like the Jedi and the Force and their connection with nature and all that, right? When you talked about like the Empire and the Death Star and they're wasting resources and this and that, that's the thing. That was the Empire's weakness, was that everything they did was based on tech. Their whole thing was based on the Death Star, right? The ships, all this stuff, all tech, all tech, all tech. So what ultimately beat them? Now I know people like to complain about the Ewoks being cute little teddy bears or whatever, but that wasn't the point. They lived on a planet that was just pure nature, just pure force energy going through it.
Yeah.
While these guys were on this big metal ball, and they ended up being defeated by the forces of nature, trees smashing their things and getting hit, pummeled with rocks, Again, that was the whole thing. So I always thought that was fascinating because so many people, oh, stupid little Ewoks. It's like, you're not getting the point.
Yes.
Force is an energy field created by all living things.
And
surrounds us, penetrates us, and binds the galaxy together.
And you're bringing up points that I did not really think about, but now makes perfect sense. That yes, it was not good versus evil; it was nature versus machine.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it came down to. And that was the Empire's weakness, is they relied way too much on the technology, while the Jedi obviously were all about the Force and teamwork and friendship and, all good things, Oh, wait a minute. What did Cool Clearwater say here? For those who do the food thing, hand-patted cornmeal, flour tortillas, fresh farm eggs, lamb, chorizo, green chili, grilled wild onion, portobello mushroom. That's a breakfast taco. That's heaven on a plate. What are you talking about, man? I want that.
Exactly. That sounds really good. That sounds really good. And I do want to say
right.
I know I'm a little disappointed. Where are the flying cars? just right above the heaven on a
Yeah.
plate.
When you
Right.
look at when you look at predictions from the 1950s of what the world was going to be like by now, we'd already have a colony on the moon, and we'd be flying, like you said, flying cars.
Right. Well, I mean, we're not
Texas, do you have
quite
any
there yet.
idea how many accidents that would cause?
Well, yeah, considering how many people in Florida can't drive, that would be kind of
Right?
messed up.
Oh my goodness.
You know, you're not supposed to change lanes by altitude right here. You gotta go left and right. So,
Right. I'll just go above you and go fast. No. Yeah.
oh, that's not how it works.
Who that would be insanity. Yeah, it would definitely be chaos in the skies. It wouldn't barely be safe to walk down the street. Um, well, I'm sorry. It would barely be safe to do. Well, no, yeah, because there'd be cars falling out of the sky, landing on people. You're like, oh man,
Yeah.
that's terrible. I liked with all the different portrayals of the flying cars things. One of my favorites is the way they do it in The Fifth Element.
Yes. Oh my gosh! And how quickly you can get your license suspended for something that it's not even really your fault.
Yeah,
It was
right.
they
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Um,
and that movie was really good. The acting in it, all of them were really good. Who was the guy that played the president? I
oh
remember him
yeah.
as Zeus. I remember him as Zeus because he kind of did something in the WWF back in the day.
Oh yeah. He's the big dude with the one eye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, what
yeah.
was his name? Yeah, he was everywhere back then. He was in so
Oh,
many
yeah,
movies. Seemed like a great guy too. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I can't remember his name either. Dang it.
Eh,
But anyway, yeah, everyone in that movie, the casting was great.
oh, yeah, and I love how
And it
they
had like this comedy element, and
mhm. Well, you remember there's that lady that,
you were
they
saying,
basically gave the hairdo like, Princess Leia, and that was their little gig toward, Star Wars. Uh, very
yep,
very much non-Carrie, Fisher looking woman, with the Princess Leia hairdo.
right,
That was that was funny.
yep,
Yep.
yeah, that movie had a lot of good bits. You know, um, yeah, that was a fun movie. I liked it. It
Yes.
reminded me of what was the other one with 12 Monkeys,
Mm. Yeah,
because
12 Monkeys.
the style of the design of like the aliens and stuff, yeah, just kind of
Yeah.
reminded me of like because obviously they're two completely different movies, but Terry Gilliam's style, it seemed like was an inspiration in The Fifth Element, like the way they designed like the robots and stuff. In fact, the first time I saw it, for a second I thought is this the new Terry Gilliam movie? But then obviously it's completely different than something he would do. But
Mhm.
yeah, when you think about 12 Monkeys, and again, well, there's the Bruce Willis connection maybe as well. But
Right.
talk about a science fiction movie. Holy crap.
Mhm. Yes,
Good stuff.
that was a very interesting movie. And the bad thing is, it seems that the time travelers were actually making the plague happening just by doing the time travel. So yeah, it's very very
Right.
interesting. Yes.
Right.
Uh,
And that's one of the things too. That's always one of the things that's always really fascinating with any time travel story is you create these causal loops, these causational loops in time, and then you have to
uh-huh.
go back and try and fix them, which just causes something else and it's nonstop crazy.
Yep. So, yeah. So, I would like to take a moment, if you don't mind, and do a little self promotion. Show everyone where they can go get their
Please.
own very own Docula News coffee mug. And I do have a merch store.
Yes.
Yeah. And you got not just that, but also several other items you can order uh, from the merch store. And right now, I think the code's only good for another week or two. I am offering 10% off with the code the launch, which it'll tell you when you go into the store. And if you look on your chat, you'll see the link to the store. Okay, thank you, Highway Star. But we have bags, we have t-shirts, sweatshirts, and I'm sure I'm going to probably make a couple more designs here and there. And there are multiple colored choices. I think a lot of people would like the gray and the pink. Those came out really looking good, I think, in my opinion. So, and I also have Carolina blue. So just really nice looking items. And welcome back, Cool Clearwater.
Yes. Papa says City of Lost Children. You'll be glad you did. I watched it with them. Awesome. Have you ever
Yes.
seen the City of Lost Children?
I don't think I have, or if I
That
have,
movie was something else.
I have to go look at it.
Okay, so
remember if I've seen it.
all right. Well, it's French, so it's up to you if you want to watch dubbed or subtitled, or if you speak French, then don't worry about it. But it's how can I explain it without spoilers? Okay, basically, what the plot of the movie basically is, it's science fiction, but it's like steampunk because everything looks like the 1930s, but they have this technology that's way beyond anything we have now at the same time, you know.
Right.
But it's like so this guy, he's this old man, and he's stealing children's dreams because their dreams are happy, and he's putting them in his head, and it helps him live. You know, it's like his fountain of youth. But
okay,
in the beginning of the movie, it has gotten to a point where, because there's this old man stealing all the kids' dreams, all the kids are afraid that their dreams are going to get stolen. So now they're starting to have nightmares. So now he's stealing nightmares. So now he's trying to find a way to steal the kids' dreams, but make them have good dreams. And it gets nuts. Like the whole story. And I mean, that's the basic premise, though. It's a wild ride. Yeah, that movie was that's amazing. That was before I couldn't. Edward says I couldn't get into the City of Lost Children. Maybe give it another watch. Well, that's the thing. It's at the time punk became like a popular thing, and also again, it is. I mean, I guess it's not necessarily for everybody. In fact, I tried to show it back in the day. I rented it because I'd already seen it a few times. So I watched it when I was in film school. I actually studied it. But then years later, I liked it and I wanted to watch it. And I sat down and I rented it. And, my ex at the time was there with me. And I turned it on, and the very opening scene, maybe not even 2 minutes into the movie, she was like, turn this off. I'm not watching this crap. Okay. But I mean, it's like a lot of the things, for me with films that turn a lot of people off are the exact same things that make me love a certain film. And that movie's a good example of it because it has such a unique voice throughout the entire thing. Everything about it, the mise en scène of the entire production is so specific. And the cameras and the lighting and the sets and the design, it all has a very specific feel to it. And if you're not feeling it, I can see how you'd be like, but to me, I'm like, wow, this is all different, new and unique and cool. And, so I don't know.
Yes,
Oh,
I know exactly what you mean.
the last squirrel standing says, I speak French. Frauditors are ass bites. Pardon my French.
Oh yeah, I guess that.
Yes. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. So anyway, what were you going to say? What did you want to get into next?
Oh, I'm sorry. We got into that Lost City. I just kind of lost track of my. uh, but yeah,
No, that's all right.
yes. No, I think let's change pace a little bit. Let's go into some music. I think you and I have got a musician that we both enjoy. That's not very big right now. I don't think she could be really big because of her music style and music instrument choices, but she does have a fan following, and that would be Allie the Piper.
Right.
And right now, she is working a
Yes,
lot
yes,
with.
yes. Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah,
A lot of people,
she's
the second they hear bagpipes, they're done. They don't even need to hear the music. They hear bagpipe and they're out.
right, exactly, and uh, and she's playing right now. She works really closely with a violinist by the name of Maya Asano, and they are doing quite a good work. They've played "Devil Went Down to Georgia." Of course, they had to redo the lyrics just a
Yes.
little bit to kind of fit them singing it, but
The bag. Yeah.
the remaining members of Charlie Daniels Band has actually expressed how much they love their redemption of that song with the bagpipes and the violin, as Mia playing the violin, and that is a perfect song for violins. And M- Allie the Piper,
Yes.
when she's on the bagpipes, she sounds awesome, like really, really awesome singing, playing, and she has a wonderful, wonderful singing voice as well.
Absolutely.
Yes. So,
Yeah. I mean,
and
she's great. Like I said, you like if you've never heard her play, like you hear someone say, "Oh, this girl plays the bagpipes," so like, okay, so what? It's like, no, you don't understand. Like she's really good, like insanely good at it, and playing like
yes.
rock songs on violin and or violin
Mhm.
on the bagpipes and
Yeah,
stuff. It's awesome.
it is. Oh my gosh, yes. And she has quite a few shorts on YouTube where she is playing, just doing that. Uh, she has yes, her talent is very, very wide as far as, like I said, singing and instrument playing. And like I said, I don't see her being like a top charting musician because of the instrument she does play. But I do see her being having a loyal fan following because well, there's people who are Scottish in their ancestry, so they enjoy bagpipes because of that reason. And there will be people who recognize that the bagpipes way she plays it is so good that they will listen to her play.
Right. Right. Paul Cohen
Actually,
says my favorite is he found a woman that plays an electric harp and does heavy metal.
Paul Cohen. Take a look at the Harp twins. They are twins, identical twins, who play the harp, and they actually teamed up with another set of identical twins who play drums, and they have actually done some like oh gosh, Black Sunday, Rolling Stones, re- instrumental playing the harp. I think you would enjoy that if you enjoy the harp. This one lady watched these two twins playing harps together because they, one's playing one level of tune, the other one's playing the other level tune, but it's very, very good. Again, their name is the Harp Twins. I may actually one day pull them up on my channel.
Nice. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Jason D. Yeah, ACDC has bagpipes on It's a Long Way to the Top. That is a fact. Indeed, indeed, indeed. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Yeah, man. Bon Scott was great.
Yes. But it's amazing though how a music and a good song can change someone's mood in a hurry.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Especially
Yeah, I
if you're
love
in a bad
music
mood and
all the time.
yes. Yes. It's good to have some music in your life. It's I don't like to try to pin myself down to one genre or another. I will try to listen to all kinds. Now, you want to know who can actually sing real
Right.
well? That David E. People person. David
Yes.
Persons.
Yes, he's
Yes.
great.
I make fun of David E. Persons because his spelling of his last name is Persons. My thing is,
Persons.
yeah, Persons.
Right.
Persons is plural. So it's people. Come on, David, get your name right. Well, I don't think he's on right now. He would already chime in here by now. So
He was here earlier.
he was. I was trying to see if I could get him to chime in, but he's not responding. So he's either knows what I was doing or he's not here. But that has been my
Right,
little
but
running joke with
he's
him.
great.
Yeah, yes, and he does mostly country western type
I like
songs, and
it.
yes, he does, and I think it's good to always pull him up. So everything, so it's great, it's
Hey,
awesome.
Florida
Awesome.
Florida Jim, his two favorite genres of music are Jewish and Catholic revenge rap. Okay. I like both kinds of music, rock and roll.
Jewish and Catholic revenge rap. Okay. See, I'm going to see if there is in that genre a little bit later. Yeah, I'm listening to some Jewish and
And now
Catholic revenge rap.
Parson is listening to Amish death metal.
Oh goodness, I wonder what Amish death metal would sound like.
Well, you have to think you take a stick and tie a string to it and then bang on it, right? Ding ding ding
Yeah,
or wong wong wong. Like basic
but don't forget the jug. Don't
basic
forget the jug.
instruments just made out of
But
wood.
no,
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
blowing
don't.
in the jug.
Well, actually, they would not have a jug because Amish would not drink.
Yeah, we could
If you think
have a
about it.
jug of water.
Oh, okay. They could have a jug of water.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So they could still do the jug band stuff. And then the vocals, I built a barn. It took me days. I used a hammer. I made myself. I don't know. I got my beard. It's really long while I sing my Amish song.
What was that song that Weird Al Yankovic did about the Amish? He was making fun.
Yeah, Amish Paradise.
Oh yes,
We've been living most of our lives living in Amish Paradise.
Of course, you have to, yes, think about Amish music. When you think about parodies, you have to think about Weird Al, and that guy has been in operations for 40 years now. Because I remember his
He's been around for.
what?
I saw the Monkees, and Weird Al was opening for them. That's how long
Really?
Weird Al's been around.
Yeah, he's been around a long time.
Yeah.
You think he'll ever hit puberty?
He started in the late 70s. Did you see the movie about him?
You talking about UHF?
No. There's a movie about Weird Al where the kid who played, I think it's the kid who played Harry Potter plays Al.
No, I did not. I didn't even know there was a movie.
It's great.
Actually.
It's Al's. Well, here's the thing. Al's in it, but here's the thing. It's a Weird Al movie. So like it's about him, but it's like like for example, when he did like a surgeon, he had to get Madonna's permission to play the song. So in
Right.
this movie, she's chasing him and Al, please put me on your album, please, Al, please put me on your album. Like it's not real. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's a true story, but it's not real. Like
It's like,
you know,
okay, yeah, it's a way
and he's saying
Weird Al would tell the story.
it's a parody of his own life story. Yeah. Let me see. Like people are asking about it. Let me look it up because I can find out some more. Because it was I just saw it. And I don't even remember. Like I was just scrolling through stuff and I saw this and I'm like, oh, the movie about let me check that out. And it was great. Yeah, it's called Weird. Let's see. Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
Okay, yeah.
Here, I'll pull up the Wikipedia. Or wait, here we go. Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe is Al. Let's see. I wonder if I could show a clip, maybe a trailer. I wouldn't get a copyright on a trailer, right? Let's see.
I would not think so because it's a promotion, but I'm just trying to see where you can stream it at.
Right. Let me see.
Well, you can, yeah, you have it on Apple TV.
All right, here we go, guys. Hey, this is going to be great. I love this movie so much. Here, I'm going to show the trailer.
And you can watch it on the it's a Roku original film, so I'm going to definitely be watching this. And you can stream it free there.
Watch it on Roku. Yeah, there you go.
Yes, it will have commercials though. So it's just what.
Put it in. I'm tired of people thinking I'm some kind of joke.
Your dad and I agreed it will be best if you just stop being who you are and doing the things you love.
My whole life, all I wanted.
I'm afraid we found your son at a polka party.
Just to make up new words to a song that already exists.
Oh, well, you should do that then.
Ooh, my little hungry one, open up a package of my banana.
Dude, I've got chills.
Every once in a great while, is that song autobiographical?
Yes. Except for the fact that I've had a lot of sex.
Name me one creative genius that doesn't have a checkered past involving alcohol
That's the medicine.
and drugs.
I think Madonna's a bad influence on you.
What? No offense.
I'm a train wreck. My parents wrote me off. I pushed away my band. You're all just a bunch of normals. I'm the weird one. You gotta take care of yourself.
I saw in you something special. An artist with something to give to the world.
In front of all the billions of people watching around the world right now, all I want to say is be as weird as you want to be. Yeah! You will never find true happiness, so you can truly accept who you are. Thank you.
Oh, Al, you can't smoke in here.
I totally deserve that.
But you see how he takes it, like
Yes.
following the basic formula of your rock star movie, you know, like stuff that never even happened to him, but like, oh well, all your rock star movies got to have the drug and alcohol part, and you know what I mean, like, and the fall from grace, and then the rise back in the end, like Weird Al never did any of that, but that's all, you know. It's a great movie. It's fun.
I want to suggest something here, and I think we kind of touched base a little bit on one of my live streams. I think you and I kind of said something about this. Let's do something like a book club, but for movies. And I would suggest that would be the first movie. That would be the first movie that everyone should watch, so they can come in and we can talk about it. I might actually promote that for my next Thursday. If you don't want to do it, I'm going to do it for my next Thursday's live stream. I'm going to say, hey, everyone, go to Roku and watch that movie. And I think we might actually have
there you go.
Good, a good discussion. If you want to do it for next Tuesday, I'm all game. I'll be glad to come back on next Tuesday and we can talk about Weird Al.
Oh, well, I mean, we can talk about him anyway. Anytime. I'll talk about Weird Al. I love Weird Al. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, did I miss the Cupcake Happy Dance? Oh, no, wait. I got to do the Cupcake Happy Dance. All right. Okay. Ole. All right. Yes. Excellent. But yeah, one of the coolest parts in that movie is there's this scene where he goes to like Weird Al in the movie is that like this Dr. Demento is trying to introduce him to the music industry. So he takes him to this party. There she is. She said, "Ole, all right." So there's a scene in the movie where they're trying to where Dr. Demento is trying to introduce Weird Al to like the music industry. And everyone at the party is someone famous, like these famous musicians. But the actors playing the famous musicians are all like A-list actors, but in some cases you don't know who they are because like makeup or the character or whatever. Like for example, Conan O'Brien is it's just a collection of not just A-list celebrities. See, that's the thing. Trying to explain it because it's a party full of A-list celebrities, but they're being played by other A-list celebrities. So, like, which celebrities am I talking about? But, dagnabbit, the guy who painted the Campbell's soup can, for crying out loud.
Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol.
Conan O'Brien plays Andy Warhol.
I can see that.
So
yes, I can see him doing that well.
And Jack Black plays Wolfman Jack.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
Especially now with the beard and his hairdo that he has going on, I can see him doing Wolfman Jack.
Oh yeah, it's great. And then I mean, there's just so many little cameos in there. But again, it's weird because they're celebrity cameos, but it's celebrities playing the celebrities. So it's like a double cameo, you know, like you have Alice Cooper, but then you have the actor who's playing Alice Cooper. You have Wolfman Jack, but then you have the actor that's like, leave it to Weird Al to come up with that for an idea for a movie, you know?
Yeah.
And I think Paul Rubens is in there, and it was one of his last movies before he died. And I think, wait, I don't want to say this wrong, but I think, let me see. Was it? I'm trying to look it up, but all I'm finding is a bunch of stuff about Paul Rubens himself, not. Oh, the director who made the movie Weird wants to make a movie about Paul Rubens. Oh,
okay.
That's interesting. Oh, okay. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, no, this is why I thought of Paul Rubens. One of the people at the pool party is Pee Wee Herman, but it's somebody else playing Pee Wee. That's okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Andy Warhol is played by Conan O'Brien. Oh, that's what it was. Emo Phillips is in the movie. Do you remember Emo Phillips?
I want to say
He's a comedian, and he was in, like, he's been friends with Weird Al forever. Well, he's a comedian. He was in UHF. He's been a friend of, Weird Al since the 80s. But he plays Salvador Dali. They have Nina West plays Divine. Just so many. At the party, at the pool party, Alice Cooper, Tiny Tim. Again, another comedian. He's played by Dimitri Martin. Just all this. It's crazy. I'm sorry. It's this. See, now you guys got me all thinking about that movie. That weird. It was so cool. Edward Kettler follows Emo on Twitter. Yes.
So yes,
Emo is great.
I'm definitely going to watch it this weekend or maybe sooner. Because the way I see it, the concept of doing movie club, I think it's there. I think people will people will participate because it's easier to watch a movie than it is to read a whole novel. I'm just saying that.
Oh well, yeah.
Plus, having
people cheat even in real book clubs. They still do.
Yeah, they'll have a harder time to cheat with a movie club. But I will say this: Daniel Radcliffe reminds me exactly like Weird Al looked like back in the 70s and 80s. At first, when he came in that promo, I was like, hey, Weird Al, no, that's Harry Potter.
Yeah, the casting was great though. That really was, and the fact that Weird Al is in the movie, he plays the record executive guy.
Yes. And it's hard to believe that he's as old as he is because he doesn't look it at all.
No. Yeah, the Weird Al does look really young for his age, and it is interesting. Like, it took me a while. I mean, I am now, but it took me a long time to get used to seeing him after he got the eye surgery. Because him with that big hair and the glasses was Weird Al. Like if you were going to draw a caricature of him, it would be the big hair and the glasses. And then he got the eye surgery, and he shaved the mustache too.
Yeah,
he got rid of the mustache. He got rid of the glasses, and he grew his hair out long. It took me a long time to get used to that look.
Yes,
but what's that? White and Nerdy. That's another great song.
White and Nerdy.
See me roll on.
That was a really good
Segway. People thinking that I'm white and nerdy. I guess I'm just too white and nerdy. Look at me, I'm white and nerdy. Oh man, yeah, I remember listening to Weird Al back in the day. 70s, 80s. Another one rides the bus.
Eat it.
Great stuff. And
of course, can't forget Fat. Cannot forget Fat.
I'm fat. I'm fat. You know it. Well, it's cool because if you listen to his albums, especially the old ones, it's like a chronicle of what the hits were at that time.
Oh yes, definitely.
Like every big top 40 song, he does something with it on his albums. So it's almost like going through rock history, just listening to his records, or pop history.
Yes.
Eat it.
If it is cold, just heat it up. Never mind. One thing I will admit, I can't carry a tune in a bucket, so I won't torment people with my singing.
That's all right. I do it every day. They don't seem to mind too much.
I'll let Cool Clear Water do the singing.
Yeah, let Cool Clear Water do all the singing around here.
Yes, exactly.
I like that.
Yes.
Lawrence Welk. All right, that'll work. Tiny Tim on the Ed Sullivan Show. Tiptoe through the tulips with me. Oh man, see, music is like that. That's where I'm at, man.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to music.
Oh yeah,
all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun. Music
And
is
I
a
think
fun. I have appreciation for music because I know.
Well, it's fun and it's. No.
Okay.
Well, no,
I'm gonna tell you when
I play.
When I joined my church's youth choir, everyone else had to sing louder just to cover me up. I remind old Andy Griffith reference. Old Andy Griffith reference. Barney was part of the choir. He couldn't sing, but he convinced himself so it was someone else who could not carry the tune. So they had to cover up by have him sing solo in a microphone that was so sensitive that he barely could speak or make any sound out of his voice, and someone else had to sing in the background behind the curtain. But and they did all that so they
right.
Barney's feelings.
Right.
But yes, that's me. That is me. I can't sing. I will recognize that. I can't.
That reminds me of the Stooges episode where they're playing the record and Curly's pretending to sing.
Yeah.
The voice of spring is here in you.
Yeah.
Hey, Ironton Auditors here. What's up, Ironton? Who else has come in that we haven't said hello to yet? Let's see. We got Edward. We got Florida Jim.
Oh, hey, Florida Jim.
Let's see. Mighty Red. What's up?
Yes.
Parson 1122. So many wonderful people here. As always, I love you guys. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My condition wasn't. Yes, sir.
I'm going to have to say this. I have to say this.
Oh, no. Uncle Artie's here.
Hey, Uncle Artie. I'm going to have to say this, though. I have to wrap things up here. I got to get ready for work and then log in. But I do want to promote my channel.
Hey, no problem.
Yes. So we're going
to
have,
please.
Yes, Thursday live stream where we're probably just going to talk about most anything. I promise Batty that we'll play Frank Sloop's video for her. You know how she is about Frank Sloop. So we'll play a Frank Sloop video. And I will we'll also play the new game that we came up with called What's Your Story? Which I'm going to pop up a picture on the screen, and whoever's on the panel has to create a story based upon that picture. We can have some fun with that. It can kind of go into, it can be comical. It can be, look at the picture. What's the story you think about this picture? And we'll also, drop the idea about movie club with the first movie being Weird by Weird, and so everyone can watch it and we can talk about the movie.
The Weird Al story. Yeah.
Yeah, the Weird Al story. So that'll be Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And Hez, thank you for having me on your show. Appreciate it. And I enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you for coming. Absolutely. And thank you for the mug.
Yes, you are welcome. And everyone, I did pop the link earlier in the chat. I'll do it one more time. If you want to see where you can get that mug and anything else. That's Doc Lanou related. There you go. And I guess that was Hannah that's taking me. So you're welcome. You're welcome, Hannah. And Cool Clearwater, you're awesome. I can't wait to read the part 2 of your story. We're going to have fun with that with part 1 here very shortly, and we'll make more of an announcement later on my channel about that, what we're doing with Cool Clear Water Story. He has a very, very good idea. So I'm going to hold that off until Thursday because I've been teasing Will and Batty and Ray about it. And now I'm going to tell them about it on Thursday. So yes,
Fun.
yeah, it's fun. And I'm going to also pop in my link for my channel real quick too before I hop off. And everybody
yes.
have a good time. And until next time, take care of yourselves.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Doc Leno. Thank you for coming up. All right. Oh man, that was great. Always great to have him around. And you know, as you guys know, at this point, we've been doing the Tuesday just hanging out and talking thing. And you know, it's always better to have a conversation with someone when you have someone to have a conversation with. So yeah, thank you for coming up again. And once again, I just got this in the mail yesterday. It's the Doc Leno mug. Let's get to the story. That's his catchphrase. I love it. Doc Leno story time. Great stuff. All right. Yes. So where are we at now? What do you guys want to talk about at this point? Let's see. Let me go back to the chat, see what's going on. Graham says, I could play that. My entire channel works like that. I have an idea and I have to create a story around it. Yep. Let's see. Oh, that was fun. Papa's story was great. Oh, I want to see what you good folk do, Hannah. Yes, absolutely. A lot of good stuff coming up here and there, both channels. I don't know if you noticed, I got two things going right now with me. One is obviously, you know, I did the super stream yesterday, so today I'm still kind of like, but I also got my allergies. I can't breathe through my nose, so I'm trying not to just be a mouth breather. That's what I feel like, but I'm just trying to get by. Let's see, what do we got here? Edward Cavalier said something about Taco Terry is out of jail. He goes right back to being an a-hole with the camera. Yeah. Of course. That's all they know how to do, right? So what are they going to do? Something real? I don't know. It's not their style. Creating stories about the bar is our theme. Yes, that's right. Uncle Artie's Barn Goes Stupidity. Like when I shot up the jukebox and after the roof collapsed because of this whole thing going on with Cripple Cat. Oh my goodness, so much. And she's trying to get possession of the bar. There's a whole storyline with Uncle Artie's Barn Goes Stupidity behind the bar. It's fun. Just having a good time. Let's see. Being a mouth breeder is one step to being a good auditor. No. First of all, a mouth breeder is even worse than a mouth breather. Oh dear, I'm not even sure what that would mean, but I don't want to find out. You're just making fun of Chilita's followers. They're mouth breathers. Yes, that's right. And he spelled breathers wrong too. That's because he has shite for brains. Oh no. The bar's mine. See, she's I love it. Cripple Cat, thank you. That's awesome. I love it. I just said like oh, that's beautiful. Great stuff. Oh man. You guys, I love you guys. Oh man. I got the best fans in the world. You know it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for you guys. Oh my goodness. What a day. What a day yesterday was. Artie Who woke that witch up? The bar is and always will be mine. I don't know, man. I know that there was some controversy over the deeds a few months ago. Oh, it's always fun and games with these guys. It's good times, though. Good times. Spam emails from the post office. What's the point of that? I don't know. Adult Swim is doing a marathon of Space Coast Coast to Coast for the 30th anniversary. That's funny. That was a good show. Let's see. Cripple Cat, if you put less water in the bourbon at Uncle Artie's, I'm there. Oh, if you put less water in the bourbon than Uncle Artie does, then I'm there. Yeah, right? Oh, man. Graham from the Graham and Bob Show. It's a Bob says, we love Ray and we love Cupcake. Yes, absolutely. You get a happy dance for that one, Dag Nabbit, because if there's anyone who deserves it, it's Ray and Cupcake. All right. Yes. Awesome sandwich sauce. Yeah. I have to go. Goodbye, Cool Clearwater. It was great having you here, as always. Blessings to all for such a wonderful morning. I have a job to do when our Papa Clearwater wakes again. It'll be the best day ever. Thank you all, Hannah. Thank you for joining us. Absolutely. Jason got it. Absolutely, positively great to have you here. Awesome sandwich sauce. No. Well, you know what the thing is with the Space Ghost thing is they're doing like a legitimate like reboot in the comic books where they're making him like a real superhero, you know. And it actually looks pretty interesting. It seems pretty intense. You know, like not a joke. So that's cool. Because I remember, you know, watching the reruns of the 60s cartoon before, you know, Space Ghost Coast to Coast turned him into a comedy routine. But I mean, it was supposed to be serious, you know, supposed to be a real superhero. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go with it. Bringing Space Ghost into the 21st century. Oh, man, see? Yeah. All right. So after the stream last night, I ended up staying up late because, well, I was honestly, it was because I was keeping up with Ray. I was talking to her, trying to find out how she was doing because she wasn't doing good. Like I said, this trip is really taking a toll on her. You know, being in the car for so long and as sick as she is isn't good. But you know, again, all of our thoughts and prayers are with her. I might pick up those Space Ghost comics. I'm going to the comic book store on Thursday. Hey, Edward, have I ever showed you my comic book collection? Because I'm trying to sell anything I could get right now. I got a bunch. No, I'm not doing another 12-hour stream. No. No way. That was a one-time deal, and I don't know if it'll ever happen. Well, I mean, I can't say ever because who knows? Maybe someday, right? Anything's possible. But for the moment, I'm not doing it again anytime soon. That's for sure. It's weird. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess if I was doing, because I've seen like if I just had the playlist on, you know, and just let it play, and I didn't have to be here for the whole thing, that would be different. Because I've seen that, you know. I mean, like the Space Ghost thing I was just talking about. It's a 24-hour stream of just episodes of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. You know, you don't even necessarily need a human in the room. You just program the computer to just play the playlist and then just leave it go live. So I guess it's not impossible if I did it that way. Oh, that's right. With you like the Joker comic books. Yeah. I remember that. Oh boy. We're going to have possum for dinner. Oh boy. We're going to have possum for dinner. I don't know. When I was a kid, I used to love that cartoon. any of they would play like these random cartoons, you know, like for you guys, obviously, that remember Saturday morning cartoons, like you had the Bugs Bunny show and the Woody Woodpecker show and stuff like that. But a lot of times you would get these random like Tex Avery cartoons and things like that, like, you know, the wolf or the city wolf and the country wolf, or the city dog and the country dog, like switching places. And you see the girl in the bar, and I mean, just all this crazy stuff. And that was one of those like random cartoons that popped up that just always stuck in my head. Like, it's a bear, and he's like, "We're gonna have possum for dinner. Gonna have possum for dinner. Oh boy, oh boy." I don't remember anything else about it, just except I guess the whole thing was him chasing the possum, and then the possum, you know, outwitting him, kind of like the way Bugs Bunny would outwit Elmer Fudd type of a thing. Tex Avery cartoons are great. Yeah, he's one of my favorites. Yeah. I love Tex Avery cartoons. That guy was great. I mean, so many of them, you know, back in the day. I've always had this sort of, when it comes to cartoon directors, I've always had this sort of love-hate relationship with Chuck Jones. Because, like, you can look at what Chuck Jones did, like, with the Warner Brothers cartoons, and be like, oh, wow, this is great. And then you could look at what he was doing with the Warner Brothers cartoons just a few years later. And then, like, what he did to Tom and Jerry, like, it was still good. But when Hanna-Barbera were doing Tom and Jerry, it was brilliant. And then Chuck Jones took over, and I could see why. I mean, he was doing Bugs Bunny. You know, who else are you going to hire for Tom and Jerry? But it completely changed when he took over. I mean, it was still the cat chasing the mouse, but I don't know. I don't know. So, like, when I'm watching an old cartoon, and in the beginning, in the opening credits, it says directed by Tex Avery or directed by Friz Freleng, I know it's going to be a good cartoon. When it says directed by Chuck Jones, I don't know. Sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's like I said, with him, it's weird, because when he was good, he was great, and when he wasn't, it was okay at best. I don't know. Rabbit season or duck season? Elmer season. Let's see. I should have turned left at Albuquerque. Yep. Oh man. I like Chuck Jones. I like Chuck Jones' art style. Well, that's the thing. Like with the Tom and Jerry thing, like Chuck Jones' style was great for like. Well, okay. Like, for example, I really love Chuck Jones with the Roadrunner and the Coyote, because they were relatively new characters, you know, compared to Porky Pig and Bugs Bunny and these guys that are around since the late 30s, early 40s, you know. Compared to that, the Roadrunner and, you know, the Coyote were new-ish characters. And so Chuck Jones' style for something that we only knew from him was great. But when you take a character like Tom and Jerry, that we knew exactly how Hanna-Barbera drew them, and then he started doing it in his style, it was just this vast difference, you know? I mean, just think of, you watch your Tom and Jerry reruns, and then in one episode, Tom's blue, and then the second episode, he's gray. It just looks completely different. But part of it, and this is, to be fair, I do also understand that a lot of it was budgetary, right? That, like, a lot of the animation, especially as you're starting to get later into the 50s, more into the 60s, we're trying to cut back on the budgets on the animated shows. So a lot of the animation became a lot more wonky. So it isn't Chuck Jones' fault if by the time he started doing Tom and Jerry, the budgets were cut to the point where the animation looked wonky. That's not his fault if it was a money thing. So there's a lot to look at when you think about that kind of stuff. The original Tom and Jerry shows now have a viewer warning about the content may offend. Why am I not surprised? It's Elmer season. Yes. Oh my goodness gracious me. Anyway, guys, let's see. I don't know. I mean, 2 hours is a pretty short one, but I think we had a good one. I think it's been fun, and it was great for Doc Leno to come up here and hang out. And also, I'm still freaking exhausted from yesterday. So I think I might call it here. But thank you guys for coming. I love you guys. As always, you're the best fans in the world. What, are mice going to be offended? Well, the Tom and Jerry cartoons had their. I understand why they think that some people might be offended by some of the stuff in some of those old Tom and Jerry cartoons. I don't. I'm not going to say, it's not up to me if someone else gets offended, but I can see why someone might think it could be offensive. I grew up on them. Is you is or is you ain't my baby. And my baby found somebody new. I'm sorry, that was my favorite Tom and Jerry. Well, my all-time favorite Tom and Jerry cartoon was the one where the baby mouse is running from Tom the whole time, and Jerry's trying to save the baby mouse from Tom or whatever. But in the end, when Tom actually gets the baby mouse, Jerry loses it. And to defend the baby, he ends up beating the crap out of Tom. I love that one. That was my favorite when I was a kid. Anyway, guys, like I say, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. It's been a long up and everything else. Thank you guys for joining us once again. We'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday, for another day. It's going to be awesome sandwich sauce. Thank you guys. I love you guys. You're the best fans in the world. Oh, yeah. I'm all shook up.
There's been for my prostate exam. Got the thumbs up. If athletes get athlete's foot, what do astronauts get? Mistletoe.
Told my wife her underwear is way too tight and too revealing. She said, then wear your own.
People say they pick their nose. I feel like I was just born with mine.
I haven't talked to my wife in 7 years. I don't want to interrupt her.
What do you get when you cross a polar bear with a seal? A polar bear. My psychiatrist says I have an issue with revenge. We'll see about that.